Hello and welcome to the Tennis Menus Daily Roland Garros show. Val here with you. The women's finals are set and we are very, very excited about what Saturday night is going to bring. And head to thetennismenu.com to get an annual subscription for just $99.90 US, which includes over 600 tennis-specific drills and resources to make you a better tennis coach. And we're going to discuss today on what exactly Iga Swiatek and Sofia Kenin did to get themselves over their respective opponents, Nadia Podoroska and Petra Kvitova, to reach their Roland Garros finals, their maiden Roland Garros final, and Iga Swiatek maiden Grand Slam, and Sofia Kenin, of course, reaching the Australian Open decider with her win over Garbiñe Muguruza to claim a maiden Slam title. We're going to preview what is going to be an epic night tonight with Diego Schwartzman and Rafa Nadal to take on each other. A brutal stat discuss on the time on court in their 4 Grand Slam matches, and also Novak Djokovic against Stefanos Tsitsipas. Is this going to be the kryptonite? The one-handed backhand on clay, is that Novak's undoing? We'll talk more about that on today's show, but we can't talk about tennis on this show without these two men, and the best high-performance coach in the business, hashtag Marc 4PM. Marc Safoulis joins us. How are you, mate?
I'm going really well, Val. I sat up all night watching the Kenin Kvitova match. I thought that was one of the greats. Like the score probably doesn't reflect how close that match was. It was absolutely incredible, and it'd be great to touch on that and also look at this tonight's matches. I'm super excited for tonight's matches, and looking at hopefully the young Greek getting through and maybe dismantling Novak. It could be an interesting match.
We shall certainly see, and we'll dive into more of that a bit later on. And Joel Frucci, my other right hand, well, Marc's on my left, Joel's on my right. We've got an awesome trio. How are you, mate?
Yeah, going well, boys. Exciting times getting to the business end now.
It definitely is. And look, we'll start with the results from last night. And Iga Swiatek, we'll start with her because Joel has just had an infatuation with her throughout this entire tournament. And
my head's about to wobble off because she's gone so well.
Yeah, no, it's been, your head's about to, I think your head's about to fly all the way through Melbourne and just do a massive 3D tour like on Apple Maps. But Iga Swiatek over Nadia Podoroska, 6-2, 6-1. It was an absolute demolition of the young Argentine, and in her first Grand Slam semifinal for both of them, I think. It just all went her way, and I think the stats, 61 points won to 34. 23 winners hit to 6, 5 of 9 break points and 1 of 5 for Podoroska. 70% winning on first serve, 42% for Podoroska, 67% winning on second serve for Swiatek, 38% for Podoroska. It was just a demolition job. And Marc, just looking at this, it's an ominous sign heading into the final.
Yeah, it's obviously a great match for Iga. Like, I think the way she's playing and the way she's played throughout this whole event has been just world class. I mean, the way she dismantled Simona Halep was, an amazing thing, and I just didn't know if she could go on from that. But to see that she hasn't actually let off any of that quality has been amazing. So it'd be an interesting final now that she faced herself in, but. Podoroska, what a great tournament. I think it's really important to really recognise a qualifier getting through to that stage and having to play pretty much an extra week of tennis than everybody else, and doing that for the first time. And her pay packet's going to be quite significant, and that'll get her through the next probably 12 to 18 months, maybe more, of playing on the tour. And hopefully that's just the start of things to come for her. It's an incredible feat for her. So I really want to give a shout out to her, but looking forward to see what Iga Swiatek can do, because she's actually an incredible player. We've touched on it before. She's got power, she's got control, she's got the ability to have feel and width. She can come to the net. She shows and encompasses everything that an Ash Barty does, and I rate Ash Barty as one of the great players of all time. I think she's a super player, and I think Iga's got some of those qualities, and be interesting to see what she can do now against Sofia Kenin.
Yeah, agreed. And Joel, well, you called this very, 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 very early.
It's more varies in there.
Add another 100 varies in there. But no, you did call it extremely early. And looking at the results, it seems as though nothing is going to stop her. And what she was able to do last night, is that what you saw so early in the tournament after what she did to Marketa Vondrasova, last year's finalist, and then what she did to Simona Halep? It's been quite scary to see. And it's just been pretty much she's thrust herself into the limelight here and just stormed to a Grand Slam final. And she hasn't just got there. She had, and I can't stress this enough, she has stormed her way through.
Yeah, well, it was certainly after what she did to Simona Halep where I really stood up and take notice. Admittedly, before then, I'd kind of been keeping an eye on her, but I was like, oh, yeah, she's going well. Didn't expect her to knock over Simona Halep. As we discussed yesterday, Val, we were talking, and I did say I expected Iga to trouble Simona, but certainly not to do the damage that she did, and not least to eventually beat her. But what's great about her, and Marc said it, is that there's a lot of variety in her game. And I think for me, what's most impressive about the way she's carrying herself is she's still young. She's 19. And I think we forget that sometimes. She's certainly playing beyond her years, and she's just so confident within herself. And the way that she's playing is she's just standing up and she's being the aggressor. She's making players beat her. And in her media conference, she was just talking about the fact that she's just trying not to let her opponents play the way that they want to play. She's playing the way that she wants to play, and she's done it in every single match, really. And the way that things are going, when you can get a run like that on, and you can be that confident in yourself, and really have it all together between the ears, and Marc would attest to this, that's probably as important as anything on the court. When you can do that, then you're hard to stop, especially, I think, when you're coming up against a young player like that.
Yep, agreed. And looking at her Grand Slam record, her first Grand Slam was the 2019 Australian Open. This is only her 7th major tournament, and she's been able to reach a final. And she's just looking unbelievable. And to make things even more impressive, as you alluded to yesterday, Joel, she's made the semifinals of the doubles as well, which she'll play tonight. And she's only ever played one doubles Grand Slam main draw, and that was in the second round of last year's US Open. So her 7th singles main draw, she's reaching a final. And her second doubles main draw, she's reaching a semifinal. This is mightily impressive, and I don't think this can ever go understated about how good she's been, because the stats are there.
Yeah. I think the homework as well, for me at least, maybe I might actually dig into this a bit, and I'm really interested to see when the last time it was that a player in a Grand Slam won the singles and the doubles, because it doesn't really come to my mind.
So I think Serena might have done it in 2015. If you look at her stats, I think she did it about 5 years ago with Venus. Or at least happened this decade. So
it wasn't that long ago at all then.
No, it definitely wasn't. So Serena has done it fairly recently, and I will look this up for you very, very shortly. But the lady who she'll play in the French Open final, Iga Swiatek, is Sofia Kenin, and she got through Petra Kvitova 6-4, 7-5. And Marc, you had a very, very close eye on this match, and it's eerily similar to what happened at the Australian Open semi-final this year with Ash Barty. Easily could have handled Kenin in straight sets, had her opportunities, and it's not like Kvitova didn't have her opportunities last night, and she just wasn't able to capitalize.
Yeah, I guess you're only as good as what your opponent allows you to be, and basically Kvitova was good. But Kenin was just unbelievable. Just watching that match, I just couldn't believe how well she was striking the ball. I was concerned about a few of her defensive strategies, especially from the forehand wing. She was insanely good. She was making a lot of balls. Kvitova would try and get that first strike in the rally. Kenin just made sure she got that ball back into play nice and deep. Her depth of ball yesterday was amazing. So Kvitova's been really focused in this tournament of staying up the court, playing off the baseline, and just monstering the other girl. She tried to do that to Kenin. Kenin was just twice as good. She was hitting the ball twice as hard. She was using the pace of Kvitova, but also being able to redirect it really well and move Kvitova around. And as soon as you get Kvitova on the move, her movement for a 6-foot female is not quite as probably at the level as Kenin. And yeah, she struggled to capitalize in the big moments, the clutch moments. Kenin just had another level to go to. And, I watched Kenin really closely because I wanted to see, where she's going with her game. She is the female Rafael Nadal. She is intense. She moves around she's fidgety. She moves around the court constantly. She's up and down. She wants to play at speed a lot of the time. It's like, Ken, just chill out. Take a chill pill. Go to your towel or something for a minute. You know, she
But
was
Rafa's
telling us-
not fidgety in that sense. He likes to take his time in between.
yeah, no, but she was like, you know, give me the ball to the ball kid. She wanted the ball. She wanted to start the point. I'm like, chill, like, relax. It's okay. You know, like, tennis is no time limits here. It's okay. But she was insane. Like, I loved watching her play yesterday, and I took a lot out of that match just watching her. And Kvitova did not much wrong. She played some great tennis. Started really slowly, but worked her way into the match. But to watch Sofia Kenin at that level was just another level. It really was. And the final is going to be, you know, really, really impressive. Two players that want to take the court, want to dictate a little bit. You know, Swiatek will probably move her a little bit more than what Kvitova did. And that's the kind of difference that will be in the game. The ability to slice, the ability to move it with width, hurts Kenin a little bit more. Justine Henin. It probably hurt her a little bit more than the power side. So, yeah, I mean, look, to give someone credit, Shane Leonard did pick this yesterday. We all went the other way, and he's already rubbed it in this morning and basically called him the tennis whisperer. He called himself the tennis whisperer.
The ball whisperer.
You know, he's just
The ball whisperer.
yeah. So he loves it. But yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's going to be a great final, and I can't split them. I think it's going to be an incredible final, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, agreed. And they've only met once before, the French Open Juniors back in 2016, and it was Iga Swiatek who won that 6-4, 7-5. So that was back in the third round of that year. But a two-folded question for you, Marc. How impressive is it for Sofia Kenin to get through, and especially for someone so young? Kvitova broke Kenin when she served for the match at 5-4 in the second set. And then Kenin was able to just completely wash that out and then win the last two games of the match, which I find absolutely mightily impressive. But then you're looking at, oh, hang on, was that the first set? No, that was the second set. Yes, so she did. Yeah, so then Kenin broke immediately back. So how impressive do you find that? And then also, when you're looking at the final, Kenin has been tested a lot more than what Iga Swiatek has. Is that going to bode well for her, or is it going to leave Swiatek more fresh heading into the encounter?
Well, yeah, I mean, Swiatek is playing doubles too, so you know we've got to take that into consideration in terms of
I even mentioned that before.
time on court. So, but one of the people always ask me, and there's kids that I coach, parents will come to me, and the first thing they'll say is, "Does my player have what it takes to become, you know, a good player, a pro player, whatever it might be?" Kenin has one characteristic that is critical to the success of any player. You can have a great forehand, great backhand, whatever it might be, a big serve. None of that matters. The one thing she has is competitiveness. She is like a bull terrier. She just will not let go. And if you do not have competitiveness in your DNA, forget about playing the top level of the game. You could have every shot in the book. You know, you could have money, you could have whatever, but you got to compete. And if you cannot compete, you cannot play this sport at the highest level for a period of time. Sofia Kenin, every time her back's against the wall, she's better than when it's nice and easy. I think the match against Fiona Ferro in the maybe round of 16
Fourth round, yeah.
would have been the one that was, to me, she's playing a girl who, you know, she knows she's a better player than, you know, the girl rocks up in Target clothing. And, you know, Sophia's in her, you know, brand new Fila outfit, you know, everything that she could possibly want. And she basically went into that match thinking, I've got this, and struggled in the first set. And it was really interesting. As soon as she plays someone that is at a level that is her level or above, she's just like a bull to a red rag. You know, she'll go hard. And that's the characteristic that I find really important in this day and age. And if you don't have that, you can't play at the highest level. And you're right, but Swiatek has not been challenged. You know, she wins that match last night, 2-1. She wins the quarterfinal, 3-1. She beats Simona Halep in the fourth round, 1-2. You know, she's gone through 3-2 against Bouchard. She has not been challenged. And when I say not being challenged, in the points, in the games, absolutely. But on the scoreboard, she hasn't been challenged. Now, I think Sofia Kenin will challenge her. It'll be how she responds to that's really important. But looking at Kenin, I think the way that she competes, you know, she'll be in every single point of every single game. She'll be in every single set. She'll make you earn it. And Swiatek will really have to earn this match.
Yep, agreed. And if you look at the amount of games that Swiatek has dropped, 3, and then you add 3, 8, 13, 16, 20, she's dropped 23 games in
In 6 matches.
in 6 matches. That is ridiculous. That's averaging 6-2, 6-2
Yep.
every set.
Yep.
Unbelievable. And throw 1-6-1 in there. That is just phenomenal tennis from Iga Swiatek, and it bodes for an amazing final. One thing I will pull you up on is it's not Target, it's Tarjay.
Oh, jeez.
We remember back to those ads. I just thought I'd throw it in there. Why not? Good old Gok Wan. Whatever happened to him? Don't know. Let's go back to the tennis though, and the men's semi-finals tonight. Oh, actually, let's do quick picks for the women's final. We'll get to it again tomorrow, but women's final, you pick already. I'm giving you the early. I know yours, Joel.
Mhm.
Marc.
Oh,
You can change this for tomorrow if you like.
look, I'll go for a pick now. After the match, I'll pick whoever wins as well. All right, so I can get both. But Sophia Kenin, I think, will win this match. I think Swiatek's been unbelievable. I just like the way she played last night, and I think that she's probably a bit of a class above the last 2 players she's played against, Swiatek. So I think that Kenin, just the way she played, but it does not surprise me if Swiatek wins this match. It could go either way, but I've been crap with tips, so forget about mine anyway.
Yeah, well, I think both women's Grand Slam finals have gone to 3 sets so far this year. Joel, I know who you're picking already, so we'll talk more in depth about it tomorrow, and we'll go from there. But let's look at the men's semi-final preview tonight, because we are in for a massive night of tennis, and I'm going to have a lot of coffee if I'm going to stay up after this, especially if Richmond lose their semi-final tonight. I think I might just turn the lights off and go straight to bed, but we'll see what happens. But Diego Schwartzman and Rafa Nadal will take to court Philippe Chatrier first, and look, I'm very irritated at Paris. I'm very irritated because you think it's a global audience that wants to watch this match. Why are you starting at 2:50 in the afternoon when it's going to be 11:50 at night Melbourne time? I find that absolutely ridiculous. All the matches have been starting at 7 o'clock at night, or at least started at midday Paris time, so that the whole world can watch it. That's my gripe anyway. But Schwartzman and Nadal will be up first. Djokovic and Tsitsipas up second, but that's not before 5 o'clock Paris time, so that's just going to be way too late. But we'll watch the replay in the morning. But Schwartzman and Nadal, they met in Rome. Schwartzman, as the ATP put it, went God mode and beat Nadal for the first time in his career in 10 meetings. But they have met on 4 occasions at a Grand Slam, and those occasions were the 2015 US Open second round, Nadal winning 7-6, 6-3, 7-5. 2018 Australian Open fourth round, that was a brutal contest, Nadal winning 6-3, 6-7, 6-3, 6-3. 2018 French Open quarterfinals, 4-6, 6-3, 6-2, 6-2. And then the US Open, it is last year, Nadal winning in the quarterfinals, 6-4, 7-5, 6-2. So they've met in some big matches before, but the average time of those 4 matches is 3 hours, 15 minutes, and 30 seconds. Joel, it doesn't matter what happens. We just know that we're in for a brutal encounter.
Yeah, well, they're 2 retrievers, and I think this is a big moment, I think, for Diego Schwartzman, because we've spoken a lot about him this tournament. He's been around for a little while. It's the first time that he's broken through into the top 10. It's probably, I think, the best opportunity that we're going to see for him to win a Grand Slam. And certainly, I think it suits him as well. Obviously, slower courts, heavier balls. I think that certainly suits Diego Schwartzman. Still hard to back against Rafael Nadal. But, of course, Diego will be confident after that win against Rafa in Rome. Admittedly, very different conditions. It was notably warmer in Rome versus Paris. But I think there's no doubt that Rafa will go into this match very clean slate thinking, I think, after that loss. And the fact that he was able to outfight Yannick Sinner as well. I don't think he even really needs to sort of think about all the extra stuff. I mean, he knows what he can do at Roland Garros. This is his stage. So look, the onus will be very much on Diego to go out and beat Rafa, I think.
Well, like Novak Djokovic, Rafa has never lost from the semifinals and beyond at the French Open, and has spent a lot less time on court than what Diego Schwartzman has. But having said that, Schwartzman did win 4 straight sets matches for his first 4 rounds. So that will help, I think, in terms of keeping him prepared. Yes, he played a 5-hour, 8-minute match against Dominic Thiem, but I reckon he's just a fitness machine, isn't he, Mark? And when you've got a player that you're playing against that will just run all day like an Energizer battery, what are you looking at if you're Rafa, and what are you trying to exploit? And is it his height? Because at 175, if you're Nadal, you're able to loop that ball. But in these conditions, that favours Schwartzman a little bit better.
Yeah, and that's what's going to hurt Nadal in this match. I as much as I think Nadal is the best player in this matchup, absolutely hands down, best player ever to play at the French Open, I think Schwartzman will win this match. And I'm only saying that because I feel like he's one of the form players on the ATP Tour. I think the last few weeks has shown that he can beat some good players. He's playing solid. The conditions are suiting him for this time of year on the clay. Generally, for a guy of his height, Nadal will be able to lift that ball a little bit more above his head, and be able to push him back quite easily. With these conditions, it's very hard to get there. I know there was a stat that Nadal's ball is doing the same amount as it was last year, quite interestingly enough. But I still feel that it's going to be heavier. I still feel that the ball will sit a little bit more for Schwartzman. And I feel like he's probably playing a little bit more towards his peak than Nadal is at the moment. Now, whether Nadal's trying to peak at the right time, or he's going to peak at the right time, I still felt that Jannik Sinner was almost the better player for 2 sets in that match the other day. I just didn't feel he was able to capitalize on the big moments. So had he have won the first set where I think he was in control, maybe that match would have changed a little bit. But, I think Schwartzman has the ability to stay out there as long as he possibly wants. And, I'm thinking Schwartzman. I really am. I've been thinking it for the last few days. I don't know why. I think that Nadal isn't playing his best tennis. Now, will he play his best tennis? Who knows? I mean, he's a champion. He's a superstar, and I love him. I just think this is one that if Schwartzman doesn't take this one against Nadal, he probably will kick himself, because I think this is the opportunity for him to take this match. And if he can hold his court, hold his baseline a little bit, stay in the points as long as possible, and not let Nadal dictate through his forehand wing and that from his backhand corner, I think Schwartzman might take this match.
Yep, and he's so even in all of his ground strokes, I think, Diego Schwartzman. He doesn't make many errors, and when he does, it means he's trying to hit the ball hard. So I reckon if he just waits and bides his time, which he's so good at, and he's so good at just waiting out his opponents and grinding them down and just making them absolutely want to die. I think that I reckon he might be a chance of beating Rafa tonight. And look, I want Schwartzman to win this title. I'm going hard on that. I want him to win this title because he's 175 centimeters. It will never happen again. We'll never see anybody of that height win a Grand Slam again unless a miracle happens. So why can't it be now? Why can't it be Diego? And why can't he just be an unbelievable story to cap off this 2020 in Grand Slams? I think it would be remarkable. And I reckon the way that he's playing, if he gets Novak again, I reckon he'll have a bit more of a game plan from what happened in Rome. He'll be able to try and iron out those weaknesses. But if we look towards this Djokovic and Tsitsipas matchup, Djokovic leads the head-to-head 3-2 all up, but Tsitsipas won their first 2 matches. But what bodes well for him, Joel, is that Djokovic's last 4 losses on clay have come to men with a one-handed backhand. And those men are Tsitsipas, Thiem, and Wawrinka. So I think that bodes extremely well for Novak for Steph in the way that he's playing, because what he did to Andrei Rublev was simply sensational. And Novak was tested, and who knows if his injury, who knows if it's real, because you can count on 3 things in life: death, taxes, and Novak taking medical timeouts. But Steph just needs to stay focused, and he can win because his best tennis is good enough. He can go toe-to-toe with Djokovic. Whether he can do it at a slam over 5 sets, we don't know, but he can definitely do it in best of 3. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I think Steph can do it if he bases himself on what Pablo Carreño Busta did well to take a set off Djokovic. I think he's more than capable.
Yeah, absolutely, he's capable. Just to knock it on the head straight away, I was reading through Twitter this morning, and Serbian journalist Sasa Osmo did say that he was having a sneak peek at Novak training or practicing, and he said that he was looking well. He was hitting freely, so I guess good for Novak in that sense. He seems like he's recovered well enough from that little niggle. But yeah, look, I mean, Steph is certainly capable of winning this match. And we talk of the conditions suiting certain players. They definitely suit Stefanos' game. He's obviously got a lot of power in his game. I think the way for him, and we spoke a bit about it with Shane yesterday, I think he's going to have to approach and get into the net and really shorten the points, take some time away from Novak, get him on the stretch, and sort of be able to capitalise in that sense. I think that's his key to victory.
Yep, I do agree, and I think that the way he played against Andrei Rublev was magnificent. And looking at that, Rublev has been one of the form players this season behind Djokovic, probably the most in-form player behind Djokovic in the team. So if he's able to do that to Rublev and avenge that loss in Hamburg, why can't he do it to Djokovic? He's been on court for minimal time as well, apart from that first match against Schwartzman and Nadal. He's a chance. He's a really big chance. And let's go into our predictions of what we think is going to happen tonight and who we are going to see in the men's final. Marc, we'll start with you and give us your reasons and why.
Well, it's interesting you talked about the one-handed backhand because most one-handed backhand players struggle to stay in a cross-court rally of speed, and they change direction extremely well with a single-handed backhand. So you look at Wawrinka, you look at Thiem, you look at Tsitsipas, they can all change direction. Now, if you go cross-court backhand to cross-court backhand with Novak Djokovic, you will die a slow death. He's incredible.
Or a quick death.
He's incredible. He'll just stay there all day, and he'll keep you on court as long as he needs to. The way that you've got to beat him is you go to the backhand corner and you expose the forehand on the move. And Tsitsipas can do that. He can go one cross and then he can change direction with his single hander up the line and force Novak into a defensive forehand situation. Now, in his defensive forehand, he'll miss more balls than his defensive backhand. So that's the way Tsitsipas has to play him and come forward as much as possible, as Joel said. If he's playing him from the back of the court, Novak will beat him. I still feel that on these big moments, it's probably Novak's to lose. So I feel like Novak is probably, for me, the favorite in this match. It wouldn't surprise me again if Tsitsipas actually goes through and wins this match. So I'll go Novak on that side of the draw, and I'm going Schwartzman. I'm going to go for an upset.
Back in Diego.
Yeah, I'm backing in Diego only because I feel like he's in form. I feel like he's got a bit of belief about himself. He beat Nadal a few weeks ago. He's got the confidence up a little bit. Nadal will doubt himself a little bit going into this match, but you can never discount a champion, right? I'm going to go Djokovic and Schwartzman.
Exactly right, Marc. And I don't mind those picks at all. And Joel, we'll go with you now.
Well, I think just given the way that the year's panned out, it's incredibly difficult to go against Novak. He's just been that good and that consistent. So I think Novak will get the job done against Steph. And look, believe it or not, I know I've spoken a lot about Rafa and the fact that the record speaks for itself, and that for me is a good enough selling point for his chances. But I've actually been swayed. I'm jumping on the Diego train like Marc. I'm gonna say Diego.
Nice, very nice. And I'm actually gonna go Diego as well.
Oh!
We're going all three. I'm going Diego. I'm going little Diego just because I want to absolutely will him over the line and become Argentina's first Grand Slam champion since Juan Martín del Potro. And you know what? I'm going Steph. I'm going Tsitsipas because if you look at the players that Djokovic struggles the most against, it is the attacking players. Federer troubles him much more than Nadal does. And if we look back to that Wimbledon final, Federer belted Djokovic in the Nitto ATP finals last year. He killed him. And Federer should generally do that most of the time. I think he's just worked out what to do in more recent years rather than anything. But Roger challenges Novak more than Rafa does. And if Tsitsipas can play that way because he's put on a really attractive brand of tennis throughout this tournament, and he's mixed things up. We saw that in what he did against Rublev. His forehand drop volleys, his forehand drop shot, he's able to mix up the game, like Marc said, so much. So I reckon he's going to be able to do that against Djokovic. And if you remember, back in 2011, Novak went on a 42, 43 match winning streak to start that season, came to the Roland Garros semifinals, and Federer undid it in 4 sets. And as the Roland Garros semifinals, he's only lost one match on a technicality through a default. I think Tsitsipas is going to be the one to break that tonight. It's 3-2 in the head-to-head. It's very even, and I think Steph is good enough to get the job done. And with that, we're going to leave you to ponder our thoughts and ponder your own thoughts as well. Marc Safoulis, thank you very much for being a part of today's show. It's been an absolute pleasure as always.
Always a pleasure, boys. Can't wait for tonight. It's going to be cracking matches. So I'm looking forward to not sleeping once again and staying up and watching some tennis.
Yep, a lot of copies tonight. And Joel Verrucci, as always, it is an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much. And are you going to bring in some languages tomorrow, just in case one of your players wins?
Yeah, potentially. I might have to bring in some Spanish either way. But geez, I'll tell you what, boys, we are going to look like some geese if Rafa wins.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know. But I think we're just going to try and create a little bit of controversy here. But one of us probably should have gone Rafa and Novak just to make ourselves look a bit credible and not be like me and go for the two underdogs. But look, we'll see what happens. But yeah, this has been the Tennis Menus daily Roland Garros show. And head to the Tennis Menus, tennismenu.com and get an annual subscription for just $99.90 US, which includes over 600 tennis-specific drills and resources to make you a better tennis coach. Val Febo, Marc Safoulis, and Joel Verrucci here with you. Just before we do go, quick shout out to Chris O'Connell, who was playing in the Barcelona Challenger last night, was up 7-6, 5-2 against his opponent on match point, landed very awkwardly on his foot and had to retire, carried off by the trainer. So we hope all is okay. He's had a lot of bad luck in his career, so we want him to be all right and keep his push going for the top 100, and fingers crossed it's not a major injury. So all the best to Chris O'Connell. We'll catch you tomorrow. Men's final will be sorted and we'll preview the all-important ladies singles final.